What's going on, guys? I'm adruber, this is Campbellton, and today we are doing an epic thrift store video bargain hunt haul, however you want to call it. I got a bunch of movies recently at the thrift store, and let's get into it. Alright guys, so recently I was able to get into some thrift stores that I don't typically get into, and I found a lot of really cool stuff. I have some footage from those thrift stores, so I'm going to cut to that now, and then we'll come back and we'll look at this epic haul that I got. Welcome back, guys. So, I got a whole bunch of movies here. This is one stack, and stack number 2. So we got a bunch of stuff to get through here. I want to get through it kind of as quickly as possible. I don't want to waste your guys' time too much. But yeah, I did want to kind of just go through here because there's some really cool finds that I found, and I think I went a little bit overboard. But I have a movie collection that I want to grow, right? So, let's get started. This is in no particular order. Ooh, I'm sorry, I dropped that. Alright, let's start with this. So, first up, what I picked up was the Saw movie franchise. I found all of them at the thrift store, which was cool. And they're all in this kind of plastic see-through packaging sort of thing. Just interesting. So yeah, I picked these up. I've never seen Saw before. I've heard great things about it. I've never actually watched it. And so yeah, picked it up. I think these will be a fun set to go through. Yeah, so I got those. Moving on, we found, and all of these were like $2 to $3. $2 to $3 per movie, which is pretty insane deal. Some of these less than that, so that's pretty cool. A Monster Calls. I've heard really good things about this when it first came out, and then it just kind of slid under the radar. It's one I really wanted to check out in theaters, but didn't get the chance to, and I saw it and I was like, I've got to have that one. The Edge of 17. This is one that I watched a while back, and I remember super loving. I remember Haley Steinfeld doing just an incredible job. So, and I had rented that one. So, yeah, when I saw I could pick that up for cheap, I was like, that's a no-brainer. This one looks interesting. This is Ragamuffin. This is based off of the life of Rich Mullins. This is a biopic of Rich Mullins, who's a guy who wrote, he's a Christian artist, wrote like Awesome God and some different stuff like that. Yeah, that looks super interesting to me. Woo! Karate Kid. This is the Karate Kid remake with Jackie Chan and Jaden Smith here. Yeah, this I remember actually liking and enjoying. I have the original Karate Kid, and I remember this one being pretty good. Maybe not quite as good as it could have been, but also not nearly as bad as a remake of Karate Kid should have been. I remember them doing some interesting stuff with that movie. I also found 42. Now this was unopened in the thrift store. That was cool. It was one of those promo Black Friday deals. Anyway, yeah, the Jackie Robinson story. This, I remember when it came out, I remember wanting to see it and then not really being able to. But now I can, so that's really cool. I also found A Christmas Story. I don't own a Christmas, well, I do now. I own A Christmas Story now. I didn't before I never got on the hype train of A Christmas Story. I've seen it once, maybe twice, and thought it was fine for what it was. But now that I own it, I might be checking it out a little bit more, which is cool. So yeah, really excited to have found that guy. Let's see, what else we got here? We got the Family Stone. This has got like Rachel McAdams and some different people. This just sounded like an interesting story to me, and I remember watching this once upon a time and liking it pretty well, so I want to get that one again. Game Night. This, I've seen this one actually before. Another one with Rachel McAdams. Hey! And yeah, Jason Bateman. This has a really interesting concept, but I feel like halfway through they just kind of run out of where... This is half a good movie. I'll leave it at that. I love the first half of this movie. The second half is only kind of so-so for me. But yeah, a really cool one to find in my put in my collection. Okay, this. Let me find the other one that goes with this. Find it. Aha! I found the Rankin Bass Hobbit films. Look at that, Rankin Bass, Hobbit, and then Return of the King. I don't actually have the Basky version. That's like the last Lord of the Rings content movie that I need to add to my collection yet. But The Hobbit, which I've seen before and super enjoyed, I thought what they did with this was really interesting. I loved the atmosphere and the vibe and the style. I started watching Return of the King a while back because I have the VHS tapes of them. Now I have them on DVD, which is cool. I started watching Return of the King a while back, and I didn't think, because they do it in a very similar style to The Hobbit, which I think works for The Hobbit because it's more of a kid's story, but for Return of the King, it just kind of felt off and just super weird to me. But yeah, I still need to watch that again. But that was cool. Find both of these. Now I just need the Basky version. Finish off that collection. We've got Remember Me. This just looked like an interesting title, and I wanted to check it out because it's got Rob Pattinson, if you will, the new Batman. So I kind of want to check that one out. Man on a Wire. I'm always up for a good documentary, and this looks good. Central Intelligence. This is another one. Came into the thrift store that's unopened, a promo Black Friday deal. Super cool. Yeah. That I remember watching, super loving. I want to check this one out again because I remember it being hilarious. I love that movie. It's a good movie. Alright, let's see, what else we got, And like I said, all of these, I picked them up for like $2, $3, tops. Super cool. Found Top Gun, and with the Top Gun Maverick coming out next year on the 4th, yeah, I figured this is worth a rewatch. I've seen it once before. I don't really remember it too much, but that's cool. DOA. This is a Mill Creek collection, and it's both the original and the remake. So, or actually it'd be the original and the remake. The original from 1950, and the remake from 1988. Excuse me. Woo! But yeah, I just thought that is a super cool idea for a double feature, to do original film and remake, especially when the remake is still a fairly old movie. So that was super interesting find. Alright, here we go. I found this Alfred Hitchcock collection. Now, I have a couple of Alfred Hitchcock collections. However, I do not own, let's see, I have Young and Innocent, but I don't have the 39 Steps or Rich and Strange, so that gets added now to my Hitchcock film collection. Also, the collection that I have some pretty weak prints, and this looks like there are going to be some actually decent prints here. The packaging, it's very nice. That was cool. X-Men Last Stand. I actually don't have all the X-Men films, except for now. Now I do. I was missing X-Men Last Stand. I've seen this once a while back, and I don't remember it being as bad as everyone says, but it's also one that I wasn't, like, super anxious to try to find, but saw it at the thrift store for cheap, picked it up. That completes my X-Men. No, it doesn't, because they now have Dark Phoenix, and I don't have Dark Phoenix. And I don't plan to pick up Dark Phoenix unless I see it at a thrift store, which is very possible. Or if it's on one of those Walmart Black Friday deals for like $2 or so, I'd probably pick it up then. But if I can't pick it up for cheap, I won't be picking it up. But this will round out both the original trilogy and the majority of my X-Men. So that was super cool to find. That was dope. Sight and Sound Noah. This is really cool to be adding to my collection because these are actually pretty hard to find. Like you're gonna be putting out some money to put this in your collection. To find this just cheap at a thrift store, that was cool. Reservoir Dogs. Now, I'll be honest with you, I own Reservoir Dogs. I haven't seen it yet, but I do own it, but I don't have the case. I picked it up, and it was from a thrift store, and it was in a movie rental case. So, this got Reservoir Dogs in the case packaging with the 2-disc special edition there. So, that was super cool to find. Little Women. This, I hope is... Little Women. Little Women. So, I watched the 2019 Little Women. That was really my first introduction to the story of Little Women. And, to be honest, it was confusing. I didn't like it. I felt like it was a film that was made for people who knew the story already, knew the story inside and out. I'm really interested to check this out because, I don't know, this one just... There seems like there would be something special about this to me over the 2019 version. I think watching something like this and coming back to the 2019 version, I would like the 2019 version better. But super interested in checking this one out. Also, Winona Ryder. That's cool. There was actually a lot of good talent in there. Alright, moving right along, The Swap. This is a Robert De Niro film, but like from early on in his career. This is unopened, and I don't know, this just seems like not something you're going to find every day, and that's what kind of drew me to it. So, I picked that one up. Also got Shrek. Yeah, this is just an amazing movie, and why it hasn't been added to my collection until now, I don't know. But this, I love Shrek. Shrek is awesome. How to Train Your Dragon 2. I remember watching this when it first came out, and I did not like it. And I'm not sure why. I don't really remember it that much, but I remember not liking it. And then since then, I've heard so many people talking about how great How to Train Your Dragon 2 is. And it's one of the best Disney, one of the best animated sequels ever. And that just, I don't know. I want to rewatch it to see what I missed the first time around, because I clearly missed something. House with a Clock in Its Walls. I remember watching the trailer, thought it looked interesting, but not like interesting enough to go to theater and watch it or anything. So when I found it at the thrift store, I was like, yeah, I will check it out. I don't remember what the reviews were on this at all or anything, so that's kind of cool. Alright, The Great Gatsby. Blu-ray. Well, actually, I think this was... Yeah, this is the Blu-ray and DVD, which was cool. So, yeah. No, there's not a whole lot. I haven't seen Great Gatsby yet, but I've heard a lot of great things about it. Also, from the director of Romeo and Juliet and Moulin Rouge. I love Moulin Rouge. I'm super interested in checking this out. Hot Rod Girl. This is another one of those, like, seemingly obscure films that you're not going to see a whole lot. This is an old, independent kind of, from what I can figure out reading the back. This is from 1956. It's definitely an older film that hasn't really been given a big, or didn't, yeah. I mean, look at that. Look how janky that is. So, stuff like that I just find interesting, and interesting to add to my collection. So we picked that one up. Alright, we're getting down to the end of the stack now. Look at this. This is cool. Avatar on Blu-ray. I have the DVD. I actually picked up the DVD recently, and now I'm upgrading to the Blu-ray, which is cool because I feel like this is one that you're going to want to watch in the highest definition possible. Office Space. This is really funny comedy. Quite enjoy Office Space. That one's good. The Incredible Journey. This is also another one that's sealed, unopened. Why are people buying films and not even opening them, giving them... I don't know. Who knows why people give stuff to the thrift store, but it's just, I don't know. But The Incredible Journey, I remember watching Homeward Bound, which is Homeward Bound is kind of like a remake, I find, of The Incredible Journey, which is an older Disney film. But I remember watching Homeward Bound when I was a kid, and just absolutely, that was one of my favorite movies. That's a movie that I had constantly on repeat, and I haven't been able to find the Homeward Bound DVDs out there very much, either 1 or 2, but when I saw The Incredible Journey, I was like, yes, I definitely want to pick that up, because at some point, I want to rewatch the Homeward Bound films, and this would be a good place to start, because it's, like, the original. Anyway, I thought that was super cool to find. Couple more here. We've got Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kids. It seems like it was part of some sort of a collection, but anywho, that looks interesting. Picked that one up. We also picked up Dirty Dancing and Dirty Dancing Havana Nights on Blu-ray. I have Dirty Dancing on DVD, upgrading it to Blu-ray, and then also adding the Havana Nights one to it, so that's kind of cool. G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra. I haven't seen any of the G.I. Joe stuff, any of the G.I. Joe films, but I feel like I've heard that Rise of Cobra was better than the first. I think this is the second one. Anyway, well, you pick it up for cheap. Why not? Why not? Add it to the collection. Grow the collection out. That was super cool. Alright, that's about it, but not quite. Not quite. I'm sorry. There's still more. Oh my goodness. You're like, hey, Adruber, how can there be more? I picked all these up for like 10-15 cents. Like, they were super cheap because they're in these little cardboard sleeves and stuff. Anywho, so I got a couple of these. We've got Boris Karloff's Mr. Wrong Detective and Mystery of Mr. Wrong. Like, it's just super cool to something like that to be added to the collection, to have these old films like that. Alright, so we also got Don't Bother to Knock. This is a Marilyn Monroe movie, and I've never seen a Marilyn Monroe movie before. So, I thought, yes, I want to add that to my collection. This is Higher and Higher. Again, this is an older film that I thought it'd be cool to add to the collection for next to nothing. That's what these films were. And High Society, another film that looked like an older film, looked cool. These are a lot of blind buys here, to be honest, but to add to the collection for, like, next to nothing, I was like, yes, please. That's it! Oh my goodness. That was a lot. Insane amount of movies that I'm adding to my collection, and yeah, that's about all I got for you today, guys. Thanks for watching, and if you would, please give this video a like. It helps me out so much. I would super appreciate it. Consider subscribing if you like this content, and I will see you next time with an all-new video next week, guys. See you later. Peace out.